Hi, I'm Jacqueline Fisher, and welcome back to the Focus First Counseling and Education series. For more than 20 years, I've worked alongside people who are trying to heal from pain, reconnect with themselves, and build lives that feel more grounded, more empowered, and more meaningful. My work has been shaped by years of experience supporting individuals, families, and communities through trauma, stress, grief, emotional overwhelm, and the long process of learning how to feel safe in the body again. At the heart of what I do is a simple belief: people are not broken. Many people are carrying stress, trauma, and survival patterns that once helped them endure, but now leave them feeling exhausted, disconnected, or stuck. And wellness begins when we learn how to meet those patterns with compassion, wisdom, and practical support. I help people turn pain into purpose, and this video is part of that work. This lesson is part of the Focus First Mental Health Education series with the generous support of the RAP Foundation. I want to take a moment to sincerely thank the RAP Foundation for helping make this series possible. Their support helps us bring trauma-informed, practical, and compassionate mental health education into the community so that more people have access to tools for healing, regulation, and hope. That matters deeply because many people are doing their best while carrying invisible stress that affects their body, their relationships, their sleep, their focus, and their sense of self. This series was created to offer real support, not judgment, not perfection, not pressure. Support. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. If you've been here from the beginning, welcome back. Either way, I'm glad you're here. Today, we're talking about stress busters and stress management. And this is something every single one of us needs because stress is part of being human. But chronic stress doesn't have to be. And most of us were never actually taught what stress is or how to work with it. We were taught to push through it, head down, ignore it, numb it, distract from it, or blame ourselves for it. Stress is not a personal failure. It's a biological response. It's your body trying to protect you. And when you understand that, you can start responding to stress in a completely different way. Today, we're going to break this down in a way that's simple, practical, and usable in real life. I'm going to walk you through what stress actually is in the body, why it sometimes feels overwhelming or constant, and most importantly, what you can do in real time to support your system when stress shows up. Some of these tools will take less than a minute. Some of them you can build into your daily routine. All of them are designed to help you feel more in control, more present, and more supported in your own body. You don't need to do all of them. You don't need to do them perfectly. You just need to find what works for you, and we'll figure that out together. Let's start by understanding what stress really is. Not just emotionally, but physically, inside your body. Your body has a built-in system designed to keep you alive. It's called the autonomic nervous system, and it controls things you don't have to think about. Your heart rate, your breathing, your digestion, your immune system. And within this system, there are two main pathways: one that activates you and one that calms you. When your brain senses danger, real or perceived, your body shifts into survival mode. This is what we call fight or flight. Your heart rate goes up, your muscles tighten, your breathing gets faster. Your body is preparing to act. and again. This is not a problem. This is protection. But the challenge is this: your brain doesn't always know the difference between real and what is perceived as a stressful situation. So, emails, conflicts, financial stress, parenting concerns, past traumas, all of that can activate the same system. And when that system stays on for too long, that's when stress starts to feel overwhelming and exhausting and constant. So instead of trying to eliminate stress, what we're really doing is learning how to move in and out of our stress response, how to activate when we need it, and then how to come back to a state of regulation. That's where your tools come in. Let's take a moment to pause and give your body a chance to calm and settle. We're going to pause and give your body a chance to come back to its center. I call it calm first. This is not about doing anything perfectly. It's about giving your body a signal of safety. So wherever you are, shift into a position that feels a little more supportive. You can sit, you can stand, or stay exactly where you are. And if it feels safe, soften your gaze or close your eyes. Inhale through your nose. Let your shoulders rise slightly, and then exhale slowly. Let your shoulders drop. Unclench your jaw. Again, inhale through your nose and exhale long and slow. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Just noticing. Notice what feels even slightly different. You don't need a big shift. Even 1% is enough. This is how we begin to work with the nervous system, not by forcing it, but by giving it small, consistent cues that it is safe enough to soften. Now that your body is feeling a little more supported, let's dive deeper into how stress actually works. Because when you understand what's happening, you stop fighting yourself and you start cooperating with your body instead. When stress is activated over and over again, your system starts to adapt to that state. It becomes more familiar than calm. And for many people, stress begins to feel like their normal state: being busy, being tense, being on edge, always thinking about what they have to do next, always preparing for something that's going to go wrong. That can become your baseline. And when your body gets used to that, slowing down actually feels uncomfortable or even unsafe. That's something a lot of people don't expect. They think they want to feel calm, but when calm shows up, their body doesn't trust it yet because it's unfamiliar. So if you ever notice that you're trying to relax and your mind starts racing, or your body feels restless, or suddenly you want to check your phone, maybe get up, do something, that's not failure. That's your nervous system adjusting. And this is where practice matters, not intensity, not perfection. Practice. Small, repeatable moments where your body learns it can come out of stress and nothing bad is going to happen. Let's go over some stress busters. Maybe not in the way you've heard before, because a lot of stress advice sounds good, but doesn't actually work when you need it. Things like, just relax, just think a positive thought. That doesn't help when your nervous system is overly activated. So we're going to focus on tools that work with your body, not against it. We'll start with the fastest ones, the ones that you can use in real time. The first tool is your exhale. Most people focus on how they breathe in, but your nervous system responds strongly to how you breathe out. A longer exhale tells your body you are safe and you can slow down. So you can do this anywhere. Inhale through your nose and then exhale just a little longer than your inhale. That's it. No one has to know you're doing it, but your body will feel it. Another simple tool is your posture. When you're stressed, your body tends to close. Shoulders forward, jaw tight, chest collapsed. That position reinforces stress, so one small shift can make a difference. Gently open your chest. Roll your shoulders back just a little. Let your spine lengthen, and then take a breath. You're not forcing confidence. You're giving your body a different signal. Movement is also critical. Stress is energy, and if that energy doesn't move, it stays in the body. That's why after a stressful day, you might feel restless, irritable, or unable to relax. Your system hasn't completed the cycle, so even small movements help. A short walk, stretching your arms over your head, rolling your neck, or even shaking out your arms and hands, tell your body the moment has passed. You can let this go. Next, I'd like to provide you with a tool for mental stress, because sometimes the body is activated, but the mind is what keeps it going. When your thoughts start looping, try naming what's happening, not judging it, naming it. You can say internally, my nervous system is activated. That's it. That's one shift that can reduce self-criticism. And self-criticism adds more stress. Let's dig a little deeper, because not all stress comes from the present moment. Some stress is connected to past experiences, patterns your body learned a long time ago. So certain situations might trigger a stronger response than the situation actually calls for. And again, that is not weakness. That's learning. Your body learned to protect you. And now we're teaching it that it has more options. I'd like to pause again and return to calm first. Just one breath. Inhale through your nose and exhale slowly. Let your shoulders drop. Unclench your jaw. I'd like to share a story to bring this into more of a real life perspective. I'd like to tell you about someone I worked with. We'll call her Marisol. Marisol was a single mother of two. She worked a full-time job, took care of her aging father, and rarely ever got a moment to herself. She didn't come in saying, I need stress management. She came in saying, I think I'm failing at life and I think I'm falling apart. She was irritable, exhausted, and overwhelmed. Her body hurt, her sleep was off, her patience was gone, and she believed it was something wrong with her. But what was actually happening was nervous system overload. Her body had been in survival mode for so long that stress felt more normal than calm. Being calm and still felt unfamiliar and unsafe. So we didn't start with big changes, we started small, one breath at a time, one moment of calm first before reacting or even responding, one pause before walking into her house after work, not to avoid her life, but to transition into it with more support. We added simple tools, breath, movement, grounding. And just as important, we worked on setting boundaries because a lot of her stress was coming from carrying more than one person should carry. And over time, something began to shift. Not that her life became any easier, because it didn't, but her relationship to stress changed. She stopped seeing it as proof that she was failing or falling apart and started recognizing it as a signal. And when that stress showed up, she knew what to do next. And that's the goal. We cannot eliminate stress from our daily lives, but we can respond to it with awareness and choices. We can build on that because once you understand how stress works, you have a few tools. The next step is learning how to support yourself consistently. This is where many people get stuck, not because they don't care, but because life is really busy and stress tools get pushed aside. So instead of adding more to your plate, we're going to make things simpler. We're going to attach regulation to things you're already doing. This is called habit stacking. You don't need a whole new routine. You just need a small shift in your existing routine. For example, before you check your phone in the morning, take a moment to exhale fully and breathe in. Before you get out of your car, pause and try calm first. Before you walk into your home, take a moment to ground, feel the earth beneath your body. These are micro practices and they matter because repetition is what rewires the nervous system, not intensity, consistency. I'd like to address co-regulation because healing is not meant to happen in isolation. Your nervous system is influenced by the people around you. That's why being around someone calm helps you feel calmer, and being around someone chaotic can increase your stress levels. This is not weakness. This is biology. So part of stress management is paying attention to your environment, who you spend time with, what conversations you engage in, what media you're consuming. And I'm not saying you have to avoid everything stressful. That's simply not realistic. But you can become more intentional. You can ask yourself, is this helping my nervous system or overwhelming it? And that question creates space for choice. Something that often gets overlooked in wellness practices is recovery time. Most people move from one stressor to the next without giving their body time to reset. And over time, that can build into burnout. One of the most powerful things you can do is create small recovery windows throughout your day, not hours, moments, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, 2 minutes, a moment for a breath, a stretch, taking time to step outside, look up at the sky, let your eyes rest on something natural. These are not wasted moments. These are repair moments. Now, I want to bring you back to something important. You don't need every tool. You don't need the perfect routine. You need one or two things that you can actually use when stress shows up. And the way that you find that is by trying and noticing, not judging, not forcing, not comparing, just noticing. What helps? Even a little. Let's pause again and return to calm first. Inhale through your nose, exhale slowly, drop your shoulders, unclench your jaw. A way that you can make this more personal is to take a moment and think about your day. Where does stress show up most often for you? Is it in the morning, at work, during transitions, at home, in conversations, or at night when everything slows down? Just notice, because that's where your practice begins. Here's something you can do to take action. Choose one tool from today, just one, and use it once a day for the next week. That's it. Not 10 tools, not perfection, one tool. And when you use it, notice what changes, even if it's small, even if it's subtle. That's how this work builds. And I'd like to say, if stress has been overwhelming for you, if your body feels constantly on edge, or even completely shut down, you're not doing anything wrong. Your system has been doing its best to protect you. And now you're learning how to support it in a new way. If something from this lesson stood out to you, I encourage you to share it with someone you trust, or in a journal, or even just by saying out loud to yourself what helped, what surprised you, and what you're willing to try. Because reflection helps reinforce change. And if you're watching this with others, you might ask, what's one thing you're taking from this? Simple questions can open meaningful conversations. In our next lesson, we're going to build on this. We're moving into mindfulness and self-management skills, because it's one thing to have tools. It's another to actually use them consistently. We'll talk about how to train your attention, how to reduce reactivity, and how to create patterns that support you long term. If stress is the signal, self-management is how you respond to it. To learn more or connect with our work, you can visit ffcei.org. We're here and we believe in your healing.